Hi and welcome to day 29 of our 30 days of yoga challenge. Today we're thinking about mindful awareness. Yoga allows us to slow down, to tune into our bodies, to be present, to be aware of our breath, of what's going on, what we're feeling, and it is an opportunity for us to engage in self-care. So that mindful awareness, when we're focusing on our breath in the postures, or focusing on what we're experiencing, what we're feeling, that is keeping our awareness present in the present moment. So we're just going to come down to laying. We'll just take a few breaths. We're going to come to Dirga Pranayama, so our three-part or full yogic breath. You can have your hands on your belly or by the sides. Just take a couple of natural breaths first of all, just to kind of let your body settle. A couple of those breaths where you can just take a deep breath in and then sigh it out and relax. And then we're going to start with our full yogic breath. So you're breathing into the belly, expanding into the ribs, top of the breath, top of the chest. Exhale, soften the belly, soften the ribs, soften the upper chest. And we'll do this a couple more times. So really being aware of the breath as it moves through the body, maybe the movement of the body itself, how it responds to the breath. You might engage with the sound of your breathing. Let's just do one more. Okay. Release the full yogic breath. A couple of big natural breaths here. And then you're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest. So you're going to hug the right knee in. And then we're going to extend that leg up. So you're going to press through the heel. You're going to come into a nice hamstring stretch. So if the left leg extended is not comfortable, then you can take a slight bend here. You're going to hold around the back of the leg, so wherever's available, thigh or the calf, and just encourage the leg a little bit closer towards you. If you want to feel it a little bit stronger, you're going to press through that heel, draw the toes towards you. So just take a breath in here. Exhale, maybe easing a little bit more. So don't worry about going too deep. It's the first, obviously we're just starting the practice, so you're feeling a little tight. Again, breath in, exhale, possibly going a little bit deeper. Okay, opening, this is working around the hip joint obviously as well as the hamstrings. And then we're going to bend that knee in. You're going to bend the left leg up and we're going to rest the ankle onto the thigh here. So we're going to come into eye of the needle. So you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch across this outer hip. If you're feeling it already, stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, if you're not feeling the stretch with the foot down, then you draw that left knee towards you. Okay, so now you should definitely feel something around that outer hip. You can bring the hand through that gap and maybe hold the back of the thigh. Maybe you're going to hold around the shin here. Or if you want to, and it's available, you can wrap your arms around the legs here, and this is getting you even deeper still, okay? So just find what works for you, and be aware of how you're feeling this pose in your body, so that mindful awareness. Awareness of sensations in the body, so the feeling of the stretch, where you're feeling it. When you're settled in the pose, you bring your awareness to the breath. Let the legs, the knees soften. So relax into it to deepen the stretch. Breathing. So if you're doing this in the morning, this will be a beautiful stretch to ease you into the day. If you're doing this in the evening, you'll be stretching out all the kind of activities of the day and preparing the body for sleep. So as I've mentioned before, just instinctively we'll know whether to kind of energize you or relax you. Just really from the time of the day and what you've been doing before. Okay, and then releasing here. And then we're going to take the right foot down. We're going to extend the left leg up. So if you're able to stretch out the right leg, then do. You're going to take hold of the back of the left leg. You're going to press through that heel to deepen the stretch if it feels good. Holding maybe the shin, calf, or maybe the thigh, back of the thigh. And then just working with that. So try not to take it out to the side, but try to keep the leg directly over your body. Then you're going to feel that stretch a little bit more. Okay, so press through that heel, draw the toes towards you, hold around the back of that leg. Breathing in and then exhaling, maybe a little bit deeper. You can bend the knee if you need to, keep it straight if you can. Again, breathing in. Exhale, maybe a little bit deeper. And then we're going to bend that leg exactly the same on this side, so resting the ankle to that knee. Maybe you're drawing everything close to you, maybe you're wrapping around, coming through the gap, holding the shin or holding the thigh. Again, so eye over the knee, you're going to flex that foot. And just draw the legs closer to the body to feel that stretch in that outer hip. Again, we're not resisting, we're kind of relaxing into it. Breathing. Notice the stretch, the feeling of release. Notice the breath. Okay. And then we're going to release the hands, release the legs. You can cross at the ankles or you can roll over onto your side and we'll come up to sitting. And then we're going to come or starting from all fours, but coming into our kind of our little flow. So from an all fours position, keep those elbows hugging in and you're kind of lowering yourself down to slide through into your cobra. Okay, moving through cobra and then opening through the back, so kind of arching here, pressing back, bottom towards the heels. Okay, so if you're keeping the hands as they are, you can feel a lovely stretch through the shoulders, inside of the arms, across the chest. So we'll do this a couple more times. So keep those elbows hugging in, flowing through, beautiful for the spine, opening up the chest, the shoulders. Okay, movement through the hips. And again, you might find that you're kind of lowering yourself down rather than sliding through, which is absolutely fine. Pressing back and then keeping the hands where they are, bottom towards the heels, so moving into Balasana. You might want to come onto the fingertips to sort of get a little bit of a deeper stretch. So shoulders, inside the arms, across the chest. Lats as well, so the side, the muscles to the side of the body. Breathing. Okay, release the hands, tuck the toes, and we're going to come up into downward facing dog. So tucking the toes, lift the bottom of the hips. Okay, and then we're going to come straight into a lunge. So you're going to take the right leg out behind, swing through between the hands, and set up for Anjaneyasana. So the back knee is down. You can keep the toes tucked or untuck them. And then we'll just take a moment here. So hands either to the floor, to the low leg, or maybe up overhead. So we just take a couple of breaths in our low lunge, crescent lunge. You can take the hips back if it feels too open through the hip flexors. Okay. And then taking those hands down, you're going to have the left hand to the inside of the front foot and you're going to turn towards the front leg. So you're going to get a little bit of a twist here. So Parivrtta Anjaneyasana or Parivrtta Kanasana. So just getting a revolved twist here. And if you feel to, and if it's okay, you can bend up that back leg to take hold of the toes. It might be quite strong to do that, or you might naturally find that okay. So just a possibility to lay it on and you're just opening up a little bit more, okay? Be mindful of the knees though, it's quite a strong quad stretch. Okay, and then releasing, let that foot come back down, turning back down to center. We'll come back through downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a moment, lengthen the spine, shoulders away from the ears, lifting up from the bottom or through the bottom and the hips. And then the left side, so your left leg coming out behind, through between the hands. So back into your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Hands to the floor, to the knees, or up overhead, so again your choice. Okay, breathing. And then we're going to come into our twist, so exactly the same. Right hand to the floor, twisting to the left side this time. So it's perfectly fine to stay here, or you might bend up that back leg, reach right round to find those toes. You're just opening up the side body and stretching a little deeper into those quads. But do be mindful of the knee. Obviously you've got a lot of pressure on your knee here, so only if it feels okay. Okay, releasing that foot, turning back to centre, and then we'll come back to downward facing dog. We'll just take a couple of breaths here. Pressing through those heels, drawing up through the bottom of the hip, shoulders away from the ears. And then actually we're going to walk the hands towards the feet. We'll walk the hands towards the feet, so we come into the back of the mat now. Okay. And then we're going to take the hands to the hips and we're going to roll up slowly to standing. Okay, so from here you're going to step forward with one leg, so your right leg, I think, so we'll stay facing forwards together. So stepping forward, bring the arms up, possibly overhead, possibly to prayer at the heart center. So Virabhadrasana 1, your warrior 1, your back heel is planted, so you've got the heel down, and you're just bending into that front leg, so you're not going to go knees beyond the ankles. Lifting up, gaze might be up, gaze might be forwards. Breathing. Okay, so feel that strong through the legs, soften those toes, shoulders down if the arms are overhead, and then we're going to open this into warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So we're going to open this out, so your shoulders, hips are now facing forward, your gaze is over that front hand, okay, your drishti over the front hand. If you need to take a wider stance, then do. If at any point the knee goes beyond the toes, just bring the feet a little bit further apart. And breathing. So you want to keep that back shoulder over that back hip, just so you don't end up like this, but you stay nice and upright, strong through the arms. I'm sure you can feel that strong across the arms and the shoulders. Okay, and then we're going to come into Parsva Kanasana. So this is our side angle stretch. You can take the forearm to rest. I'm going to give you some options. Forearm to rest onto the thigh. You might keep the hand here, arm might come up or over, okay? If you want to go a little bit deeper, if it's available, you can take this hand down to the floor. So same options for arm placement, so whichever feels good. And if you feel comfortable to, and if it's available, we can bind the pose. So this top hand will reach around, the bottom hand will reach under to find the other hand, and then you'll open up. So you don't want to be turning down to do this. If you find you're like this, then it's better to stay in one of the other possibilities, just because you want to keep nice and open around the front. But if the bind is available, then you're just kind of trying to keep open through that top shoulder. Okay, gaze might be up or gaze might be forwards or even down, but just see what feels good. We'll just take one more breath here. Then if you're binding, you're going to release. If your hand's down, you're just going to really press through that front foot. Come back through your warrior 2. Okay, and then turn to face front. Good. So we're going to do exactly the same to the other side. So actually we'll just turn so that your left foot is in front now. Warrior 1, bending into that front leg. So again, knees just over the ankle. Arms possibly overhead. Okay, bending in a little. I think I said knees over the ankle, not the toes. I hope I didn't say toes on that side. Okay, so knees over the ankle here. Okay, I don't think I did, I'm not sure now. Again, your arms can be up or you might keep them in prayer at the heart center. Breathing. So you should feel the nice kind of stretch through the back leg, strength through the front leg. And then we're going to turn this into warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So we're opening everything out. The legs pretty much in the same positioning here. It's just that you're facing front a little. Your gaze, your drishti again over that front hand. If you need to take it wider, take it wider. Feel the strength across the arms, across the shoulders. Breathing, so that awareness within the pose, what you're feeling, the stretch, the strength, the breath. When you're kind of ready in your body, then you just bring your awareness to your breathing. And then we'll bring this into Kanasana. So same options, perfectly fine to stay here if you wish. If something available to go deeper, then you come down. So hands maybe to the floor, again over, or the possibility to bind, again if it's available, and then just taking a few breaths. So wherever you are, holding that position and taking a few breaths, okay? It's really strong through the legs now. Soften those toes, so no gripping if you can help it. Good, doing really well. And then release the bind. If you're binding, pushing into that front foot, come back for a moment through Warrior 2. Good. And then just come into face front. Okay, so we're going to move into Skandasana, which is our side lunge. So you're just literally bending into that right leg. So you might stay here. I think we have covered this one of the other sessions. So if you find it difficult to bend too deep because of your knee, you might stay here. If your knee feels okay, you can go a little bit deeper, and then you've got the option to come onto your heel like this. Okay, quite an intense stretch here, quite a deep bend through that knee, so that's where there might be a restriction for some of you, but you just see what feels comfortable. The possibility to take a balance, focus, find your drishti, so find that focal point, and breathe. So beautiful kind of opening around the hip, the inner leg lines here. Okay, in all balances you really do have to focus. Helps to focus the mind, helps you to concentrate. We're going to move over to the other side, so you can take your hands down, help yourself across. Remember, if you're a little bit higher, totally fine, just find a position that works for you, so no pain, no strain within any of the postures. Again, if you can find the balance, you have the opportunity to come into the balance. You do have to concentrate. I'm going, no, here we go, that's it. If you keep the weight slightly forward, prevents you from kind of toppling backwards. Okay, a good stretch here, isn't it, as well? Okay, and then we'll take the hands down and we'll come across and we'll come down to sitting. So just find a comfortable seat. Okay, so from here we're just gonna find Paravrittayanu Shirshasana. So I don't think I've done this one with you yet. We're gonna take one leg out, keep the other leg bent in. It's a kind of sideways stretch, but obviously into the hips and things as well. So we're going to take your hand, if you can reach the toes, let me come this way a little bit. If you can reach the toes, and you're going to hold around the toes, you might find that you've got a hand resting onto the leg or maybe behind. And then we're just going to take the other arm over. Okay, so you just try not to turn down, but to keep that shoulder up. So you're trying to get a little rotation through the upper body. So you might be here is fine. You might kind of reach over a little bit, okay? So this is fine. You might be a little bit higher like this, no problem. So wherever you are is good. If you want to go a little bit deeper, if it's available, maybe you take this hand a little bit, so you're walking this hand forward, so it's your right hand forwards, and you might find that you can reach the toe with the other hand and then connect. Okay, so it's just a possibility if you want to go a little bit deeper within the pose. You're trying not to block too much into the face. I'm not too stretchy this morning. I just wanted to offer it really so you can go a little bit deeper. You don't have to touch both hands, you can just have the arm over. But the possibility, you're trying to kind of not block the face with the upper arm. Okay, and then coming up, so nice and slowly. It's quite a deep twist, so just be mindful of what feels good in your body. Again, the same to the other side. Taking the other leg out, this will be your left leg, yes. And then into your side bend, so you do need that rotation through the upper body, otherwise you're getting all into the back. So if you start kind of in this position, and then you might be here, so this might be your side bend, or you might take hold of the toes, so just kind of layering on so you've got options. So you might stay here, reach this arm over, or you might reach this arm over to go a little bit deeper. It does help to walk that hand out first of all, find that arm here, and then come back. Okay, so it's just a possibility. It's a little bit awkward. Remember, you don't have to connect the hands. You can have the arm off, or you might be a little bit higher. Parivrttayana Shirshasana, revolved head to knee pose. Okay, good. Breathing. And then just releasing, so coming slowly up, to sitting up, and then just bring that leg in. Okay. Let's just have a little bit of a seated twist, I think. So we'll just go to your right side. Just an easy twist, simple twist. Maybe back of the hand over the knee gets you a little bit deeper. Feel that release of the spine. Gaze towards the back shoulder, just to where it's comfortable. Okay, and then come back to centre. You can change across the legs if you wish, and then exactly the same to the other side. So hand to the knee, back of the hand, lifting up through the chest, release the spine, shoulders are relaxed. Breathe. So the whole idea of mindful awareness is just really bringing your awareness to the fact that we are slowing down, tuning in, being present, and being mindful of what we're feeling and how we're moving and how we're breathing. So it gives you this a little bit of headspace when you're doing your yoga practice, nice and slowly back to center. And that's just one of the many benefits that happens every time we roll out our mats and we make that decision to practice. So thank you once again for joining me. 29 days, what an amazing job. Last day tomorrow, so I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And once again, thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.